Hi, I'm Lindsay White, and this is my Module 15 case study, Truman Elementary School. Category 1. What do we know about Truman? They're located in a suburban community in the Midwest. They are a pre-K through 8 school and the largest in their school district with 700 students. They have 3 classes per grade level, and then 15% of their students are free and reduced at lunch, and 5% are ESOL students. The principal has been there for 2 years and has worked in a building within the district before coming to Truman. Their standardized test scores are worse in reading than math, and they lose ground from grade to grade. And then parents in the school have noticed the low achieving scores in reading through the publication in the newspaper. As you can see right here, their scores are going down for the most part. There are a few that raise very slightly, but only 2 of those are in grades K through 4. Parents have voiced their concern about these scores to the PTO, and the PTO has asked the principal to come and address that at a meeting. They have the perceived notion that teachers are not teaching reading anymore at Truman, and they want to know why their students are not being challenged. The principal has conducted an observation of the reading program and wants an outside opinion to validate his proposed direction. Also, the principal brought in a reading supervisor for that independent second look, and that supervisor has recommended that the curriculum standards that be revised, that 60 minutes is not enough time to teach ELA. Instead of attention to just reading during this block, that all elements need to be taught. There needs to be an individualized student needs being met, and then also staff need professional development. There is a possible grant that could help with this ELA overhaul, and the grant is a research-based reading program that your district needs to find, and then it would be funded for students K through 4, and it is for 2 years between $200,000 and $500,000. There are some questions that I have. I'd like to know if behavior or attendance are an issue. Also, is there a high turnover rate in staff? Would this be causing the low achieving scores? Do the other elementary schools have the same problem? And if so, what have they done to address it? Do teachers look at data currently? And if so, what do they do with it? How does Truman compare to the rest of the state? And then besides state test scores, what else are they using to validate that their reading program is not working? When was that reading program adopted? And do they currently have any interventions in place to help with the low achieving scores? What is the problem? Truman's test scores are very low, and they are showing a downward trend from grade to grade, and the PTO is very upset about this, and they want to know what we're doing to fix it. The principal and a reading supervisor have looked at the reading program, and they see that there are many issues with it and that the amount of time for reading is not enough. Also, our biggest problem will be organizing the school, PTO, and district to all be on the same page in support of this grant. Without the grant, we will not be able to get a new reading program. Category 2. So, action steps that have already been taken. The principal has already conducted an observation in the classroom and seen many issues, and then brought in a reading supervisor who has made some observation and is asked to give recommendations. We've also already found a grant that could fund the new reading curriculum for grades K through 4. The steps that I would take as an administrator would be, I would meet with my staff to find out their perception of the reading curriculum and how they're currently challenging students. Then, with the help of my staff, district officials, and the reading supervisor, we would come up with a research-based reading curriculum. We would adjust our schedule to add more ELA time. We'd devise a timeline of implementation for that new reading curriculum. We'd present information to the PTO and superintendent, and we'd apply for that grant. Then we would train staff on the new curriculum. We'd collect, analyze, and reflect on that data, and then continue to inform the PTO of our progress. For our staff meeting, we'd develop a survey about our current reading program. We'd like to know what the strengths and weaknesses are, what they feel is an adequate amount of time for ELA instruction, and then we would also like to know how they are differentiating instruction for their students. With the new curriculum, we would have the reading supervisor come up with some research-based programs that they felt would work best for students and for our teachers. We would then ask other buildings if they have any research-based and add those to our list. From that list, we'd have BLT review those and pick 2 or 3. And then from those, our whole staff would choose one that they best felt would meet all the needs of our building. I feel it's very important to have teacher buy-in, and so giving them the choice to pick the research-based program that they felt would fit our building. We'd add ELA minutes through the use of the staff survey and then the reading supervisor's recommendation. We would add minutes into our ELA block. That means it would no longer be 60 minutes, but it could be 90 to 180 minutes. That would pull time away from other subjects, but I feel that this is very important to get more time to teach the whole ELA in its entirety. Our implementation timeline is very important. The grant would be over the course of 2 years, so we would need a 2-year long timeline. This would give us an overview of when staff would be trained on each component of the reading program, and then it would also show us what it would look like when it would be fully implemented. We'd present that information to the superintendent and to the PTO. The superintendent must write a statement of commitment saying that we are here for longevity. We're not just going to do it for 2 years and then throw it out the window. By having them all on the same page, we can also have them ask questions and voice their concerns, and this is just better to have everybody on the same page. Then we would apply for the grant. We've already analyzed our data, and we would pick, obviously, a quality research program, and we would have our superintendent approve of it, and that program would be something that we could sustain. Our staff development is very important. Staff will need to be trained in this new reading program in each component of that program. They also might need support in the classroom by modeling from the reading supervisor and from having aides in the classroom. We'll also train them on how to challenge students and how to meet not only the class needs but individual students' needs. We will monitor the data. While implementing the program, we must continue to collect that data and then analyze and reflect on that data. That way then we can change our teaching strategies if we need to, and we can share this data with the PTO. Category 3. What is best for students? I feel that we met the needs of all students by choosing a research-based reading program. This program was selected with not only input from myself and the reading supervisor, but also from the staff. This new program, we will incorporate individualized instruction to meet both struggling students and above grade level. This again will meet all students in our class. And then lastly, the new program will be collecting, analyzing, and reflecting. By doing this on a regular basis, teachers will be able to adjust their teaching to best meet all students. Our new schedule was made, and this allows for more time in the classroom to be taught for ELA. This will include phonetic and reading comprehension, integrated reading and writing, strategies to improve comprehension, and differentiated instruction. the staff will have adequate training on this new reading program. We are not just going to give them the new reading program and say, go teach. The timeline of implementation is very important. That way then we can teach each component to the teachers, and then they can begin to implement it into their classroom. Giving them adequate training is very, very important. And also showing them by modeling and having an aid in the classroom will better help students. Category 4. So what was I thinking while reading this? First off, I was thinking, why is the PTO the only one seeing the problem? Why did the staff or the administration not? How did we go this long without someone finding that out? I see that our PTO is very, very involved, and so I was thinking, oh no, will they be okay with waiting this long amount of time to see if test scores will rise? I mean, implementing a brand new reading program takes time. And then I was also thinking, why is this building only teaching 60 minutes of reading? Most schools teach 90 to 180 minutes. So how long has it been since they evaluated their times for each subject and their curriculum? How was I feeling? I was really upset with the staff and administration. I mean, why were they not the ones to recognize this problem first? Why did it take the PTO to say something before something was changed? But I was excited for the principal who has stepped up and is trying to fix this problem. Being a newer principal, this probably wasn't their mess to clean up, but they stepped up to do so. And then I was also sad that the grant was only for K through 4 when the school is a K through 8. So that means even one, the school or the district will have to fund for 5th through 8th grade, or those kids won't get the new reading curriculum. I valued the fact that the PTO is so involved, that they took the initiative to want to fix the problem. They value education, and I value that. And then I also value the fact that we have the opportunity to make a difference with these students by adopting a new reading program that will be a balanced literacy program. There are some things that are unresolved, and the biggest what if is, what happens if the building does not get this grant? Will we be able to fund it, or will the district help us? And then if we do fund it, will the PTO be patient enough to wait for the whole curriculum to be implemented and to wait to see the test scores rise? And then this problem did not happen overnight. So what are we going to do to make sure that this does not happen again? Category 5. So the way that we engaged our families and community was, first, the PTO's concern was taken seriously. We did not just throw it out. We went and found a new research-based reading program because their points were valid. Second, with help from the reading supervisors, staff, and district officials, we found this new program that encompasses all reading elements. And then third, we shared with the PTO and superintendent our vision for these new reading programs. For the use of knowledge of policies, laws, and regulations, first step taken was we identified a possible grant that would fund our new reading program. Then we brought in an outside source to help evaluate the current program and find out what they felt we needed to do to go in the right direction. And then we trained our staff on those new program and each element in it. So to establish ongoing dialogue about our decisions, we were willing to listen to the PTO about concerns, and then we kept them informed. We took the teachers and the reading supervisors, and we are analyzing and collecting and reflecting on that new data. And then the last step was taken, that we will continue to share our progress with the PTO and the superintendent. Thanks for watching!